Hi, I forgot to start it, so we're going to start your class all over just for you, just because of my era, okay? Talking about ospreys right now, okay? So here we go. All right, so it actually gives them a chance to jot down what they need for notes and things, so it's not a bad thing. Okay, all right, so he is one of the most spectacular birds on the seashore. He's fairly large. Wingspan of 5 feet. He's dark up above. He's white below, as you can see in the picture. The white head is marked by a wide dark stripe that runs through his eyeballs. Okay? His wing beaks are slow and deep and flaps more than he sails. Okay, so he's not, we talked about how he's not like a hawk where he just kind of rides the current. He's actually flapping most of the time. Okay? He will come, he's up over the water at a height of anywhere from 25 to 150 feet. Then when he spots the fish, he dives downward, he puts those wings back, and he comes in. And as he gets close to the water, he throws the wings out, and helps to slow him down. And then he grabs the fish. If the hunt is successful, he flies off with that flapping fish in his feet. He actually carries this thing head first. This is what we were talking about. He comes in behind this fish. Okay? He actually circles around, so he's coming in behind it. And he catches it, and he flies off, and you can see in the picture, he flies off with the head pointing the way he's going. Why do you think he might do that?
So like they can get air and so it's kind of killing him.
No, he's going to die. He's going to suffocate anyhow. What do you think?
Well, if they carry it like this, the wind kind of hits it and blocks it and makes it harder to
Okay, what is it? What's the fish doing?
flapping.
Yeah, he's flapping.
So
That
it
fish
helps
is
him
flapping that tail.
It's giving it more power.
Okay, no, it's wind resistant. I mean, think about it. He's trying to fly with this fish that weighs almost as much as he does sometimes. And if he's trying to fly and the tail of that thing's out front of him flapping like this, it makes it harder for him to fly, right?
Yeah.
So he comes up and he grabs the head and goes, and the tail's back here flapping around for a little bit, but it doesn't slow him down, okay? So that's why it's for wind resistance. Kind of like a biker that, you know, the bicyclists that you see, they have the helmets that are designed that the wind goes over, they're all way down. Yeah, you know, racing bike, the guy racing on a bike, he's not sitting straight up to the wind hitting him, he's all down, right? Okay?
But how do you spell
All right.
resistant?
Okay? Now, the beauty of it is, this guy scores a catch about 1 out of every 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what I do. Tell you that. His eyesight is very keen. It enables him to spot fish from... Oh my goodness. I thought the world was ending. They made it small. Okay. And it enables him to spot a fish from more than 100 feet. Now, here's where you see God in the details. Think about it. He's got these really short talons, right? And he goes in, he grabs the fish, and he tries to fly off. What's going to happen? It's just going to cut right through that fish.
Yeah.
He's never going to catch anything. He's just going to constantly be destroying fish. Right? So he throws those things in. When God made this bird, he put like a sandpaper padding, if you would, in the palm of his feet, for the lack of a better word. Okay?
So cool.
So that when he sticks those things in it, that padding is really scaled up, kind of like sandpaper, and that fish can't slide out of it. So the talon doesn't cut through him.
That's so cool.
See, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You see God in the details. All you got to do is look. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing right there. Okay? So it helps him to carry that large bird, or large fish, excuse me. The large nest of the osprey consists of large masses of sticks, and each year a pair of ospreys will return to the same nest, and they add more sticks and branches, and the nest gets larger over time. Sometimes they will reach 1,000 to 1,500 pounds.
Yeah.
The nest, they get massive. Now these guys will live to be in their 20s, and they normally mate for life, which is sweet.
Unlike me.
Better than some people, unfortunately. You're right. Okay. All right. Next bird is the oyster catcher. Now he's he's weird looking because the coloring is he's red, he's orange, he's pink, he's black, he's white. He's got all these different markings on him. So he stands out. Oh, had to raise it back down for somebody trying to take that. Because, Lord forbid that we would go home and pull this up and do it.
Yeah,
So you can't do that. Can't do that because none of these children ever looks at anything with a screen. At 3:15, nothing with a screen is ever looked at again for the rest of the day. Right? How they're all sitting here like, ooh. All right, here we go.
Most of the time.
Oh, look at their beaks.
Yeah. The oyster catcher is an eye catcher, mainly because of the large, bright red beak. Okay? He's a heavy body, which means he's kind of a wider bird. He's a big bird. With white undersides, black head, and black back, as you can see in the picture. Upon taking flight, the oyster catcher flashes a chevron on the wings. You see that white wing there. So he's really pretty. People have described him, obviously they got him confused with a penguin, but they have described him as a bird with a big red nose wearing a tuxedo. Okay? Because when he is standing, he does. He's got the black coat on with the white, and then he's got that big red bill sticking out there. So I can see where that would come from. I wouldn't have said it personally, but I get it. Okay? He is larger in size than many of the shorebirds that we're going to be talking about. And I'm talking about the ones that actually are on the shore looking for food, okay? Not the ones flying around. Upon closer inspection, he has pink legs and an orange ring around each eye.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some very distinct markings. But pink legs, black and white body, red bill, orange rings around his eye. So he's a very colorful little fella. He's got a lot of different colors to him. Very pretty. We'll leave it there for a second, let y'all jot down whatever you need. Okay, and then we'll come back. How are you doing? Everything going well? You're closing in. You're about to survive 6th grade. Okay. So most of them will survive it. As we're closing in on the last few weeks, it's a little iffy for some. Not that their grades are not good, it's just their behavior sometimes. How dare me. All right, here we go. Upon finding an oyster catcher will stab its beak inside the shell, using the bill as a chisel. Okay? He will snip the oyster's abductor muscle. To hold that shell together, there's a muscle. Okay? It's got like a hinge down here, but then it's got a muscle in there that draws that thing closed. That's why you can't walk out and just open one up. Okay? With your bare hands.
I did this one for my month ago. It was the dead one.
Yeah, okay.
I did
All right. It's amazing. It's just amazing. They can just pop oyster shells open. You know, even people who does it for a living has the little knife that he has to cut the adductor muscle in order to get one to open. But none of these he-men can pop them open with their bare hands. All right. Anyway, he snips the adductor muscle, which holds the shellfish closed. The bird then removes the oysters from the shell and eats it. Okay, so he will chisel in till he gets a little opening, then he will take that thing, cut the muscle, and the shell falls open, and then he's able to eat the oyster out of it. Oyster catchers are not only strong flyers, but they are also rapid runners. Okay, and that's what he looks like. Bring it down a little bit. Let's get a good look at him. There he is. You got the pink legs. You can't see the pink that well, but you got that red, orange, the black and white.
His eyes are so cool, baby.
Yep. This is where he has opened up the shell. He's chowing down pretty good there. Oysters are good. Okay. I don't particularly care for them raw on the half shell, but a lot of people do. I like mine fried up apparently. So anyway, all right. And now we're at the ruddy turnstone. Okay? He is a distinctive marking of the turnstone is a black vest. He also has orange legs, a black and white facial mask. When we get to the picture, you'll see him. He actually looks like he has a mask on. The ruddy has been called the calico bird. If you've ever seen a calico cat, it means he's got different colors mixed in. He's kind of the same way. Okay. He's brown, he's black, he's got white patches on his wings, his rump, and his tail. Now what makes him stand out a little bit is the bill of the turnstone is very distinctive. He's got a very thick base up near his face, and then it tapers out, and the tip of it is turned up ever so slightly. You know, it's not like he's got a big hook out there or something, but it's turned up ever so slightly. Okay? And there's a reason for that. The beak is black in color. Okay? Now he will use that beak to dig holes in the sand and look for crustaceans. Okay?
Wait, look for what?
Crabs. Okay? The bird's last name, turnstone, refers to another feeding method. And what he does is he will take that beak, that little turned up end, and he will flip over shells, sticks, stones, whatever, and look up under him, because that's where little critters will hide sometimes. They'll be all up underneath there. So he will be up under, he will turn it over, but that's why that thing has a slightly upturn, so that he can get up under things and flip it over easily. Okay? Again, God's in the details. Okay? All right. So anyway, he turns over shells, stones, sticks, and seaweed with his beak, and he's looking for beach fleas, worms, small crabs, and mollusks. Okay, beach fleas, they're known as sand fleas, mole crabs. They're all pretty basically the same thing. If you've ever seen them, if you go to the beach next year, you'll see some, I feel confident. If you'll dig them up. If you go out, I go out to Nags Head November, around Thanksgiving, and you take a pail, a little shovel, a little kitty pail and shovel out, and you can get you a half a bucket full in no time, and then you use them for bait for surf fishing. Yep. Yep. Okay. All right. Next, the sandlings. You get his own line, folks. His own line. You might have to do it.
No, we have to go.
Yeah. The sandling is a small animated bird found in small flocks on sandy ocean beaches, weighing in just 2 to 3 ounces. Okay, he is one of the smaller shore birds. They are gray on top with white below. The beak and the legs are black. In the summertime, they have more of a rust color than a gray. Okay. You leave it there for a couple of seconds. Nobody wants to do the work at home. Everybody wants me to just give them the answers. That's why they call it homework. Oh, no. All right. Typically, sandling skitters back and forth, running up the beach with an incoming wave, and then back down as the wave recedes. That's those, yeah.
They move their feet in
Yeah.
waves like 1,000%.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah, their little feet are going like crazy, but they're not
They're
really
only
going
moving
anywhere.
like this much.
Yeah. Their tiny little black legs churn rapidly as they scurry to feed on food exposed by the waves. With probing beaks, the sandlings search the sand for small animals such as mole crabs. Now, just mole crabs are they're known as sand fleas.
Of course.
Woman, I'm trying to be nice and pick up papers, and she just keeps throwing them in the floor. Here, pick this one up too. All
I
right, here
didn't
we go.
mean to.
All right. Anything you don't get tomorrow is a little bit lighter day. We're just covering two items tomorrow, so we will pull back. We'll pull this up and go back through this and give you a chance to get any notes that you missed. Okay. We're not going to leave you hanging. Okay. All right. These are the willets. He's a fairly large bird. He stands about a foot tall. And we're talking about the ones that are actually down on the shore, walking around looking for food. Not the ones, again, flying up overhead or out in the water. At first glance, he's a nondescript gray in the winter, brown in the summer. But once he takes off, he has a chevron pattern of white stripe on the underneath and his black wing. And he's really got some pretty markings to him. He doesn't look like it, but he actually has some pretty markings. They are most commonly seen in the surf zone of the ocean. That's where the waves are breaking in. Okay, that's where the waves are breaking in on them. Here's his chevron. You see this white and the black wings. Okay. They wander up and down the beach, probing that they got that long bill. You see that beak there? And they'll dig down looking for mole crabs, worms, other small animals. Okay, so they're out looking for all kinds of food. Survival is what it's all about. Okay, but you can see he's got some pretty markings. He's very nondescript. If you just see him standing on the beach, he's like brown or grayish. And then when he flies, he's got those pretty markings on his wings. Okay? All right. Hi. Giving everybody a chance to write stuff down because, Lord forbid.
It's illegal to do that at home.
Yeah, Lord forbid that they would actually have to put time and effort in at home. All right. Ugh. All right, lift it up. Look. Okay, good. They nest in the Carolinas. They're located primarily behind the secondary dunes or the grasses area near a marsh. Remember, you've got the beach, the water, the ocean, beach, primary dunes, secondary dunes. These guys nest back on the secondary dunes away from people, away from the actual activity on the beach. Okay? And I believe, yeah, there they are. That's a couple of them back in there. Got the beach grass and all that. Okay? Okay? All righty. All right, now we're going to watch some videos on all these little creatures, and I will, of course, include those with you. Bye-bye.